Hey guys, and welcome to Day to Day Scott, where I bring you daily content on entrepreneurship and personal growth. Every day, bar Sunday, so 6 days a week, I'll bring you daily content on entrepreneurship and personal growth. How do I do that? What I do is basically I curate my learning from each day into the content that you'll gain value from. So as an entrepreneur yourself, you'll know that you learn so much each day because of just really the amount of hats we need to juggle, the amount of roles we're having to fill, the amount of things we have to learn to progress our business, progress our mind, progress our health. And that's what I'm doing. I'm showing you my journey as an entrepreneur, and that's where you're going to really resonate with this channel, as I'm where I believe most of us are in the first few years of startup, and that's what's really unique to this channel compared to others. So that's what you're going to see. You're going to see the journey, and you're going to learn from both my successes as well as my failures, and you're going to see my highs and my downs. And that's what this channel is about, is to be fully transparent and for you to see every layer of my journey, so you can see a true outlook of an entrepreneur's journey. And it can build confidence for us to build a community of entrepreneurs that feel confident to be transparent with one another, to help each other through the tough times, as well as help each other with the tough times, as well as obviously boast about our great times in our journey as well, to help each other achieve our successes we desire and deserve. So do stay tuned. This is a very fascinating one because it's something that I've actually picked up. I've probably been picking up for a few months now, but I really picked up on it today. And it's just from observing how my client manages his team, and I just find it really interesting, just sort of the management style of managing a team, because obviously I'm going into management obviously because I want to build my own team. I just find it very interesting dealing with the different work styles. We'll get into it in a minute, and we'll really delve into it, so stay tuned and we'll get into it in a minute. Hey guys, and welcome back. So I've been observing my managing of the client and how they manage their team, and I just find it really interesting how they manage the different work styles of people, because you have to be aware everyone does work differently. I think the broadest way I can explain different work styles from what I've acknowledged, I know there'll be other people in the spectrum, but I think the easiest way to explain it in broad terms is there's doers and there's planners. Okay, there's doers and there's planners. Okay, that's what I find as you can easily split people into those categories. I appreciate that might be split again, but as a whole, you can be split into those two categories. And I find it really interesting because you have to be aware of which someone is, because if you're managing and you're a doer and you're just do, just get on with it, but you're dealing with a planner, you have to appreciate the way they work, because they won't understand you and the way you work. Now let me explain this further so you can understand further. So planners, they're not fast decision makers. They're much slower decision makers. They have a lot of thought there's much more emotion that goes into their decisions. So they're slow decision makers and it's high emotion. Whereas doers, it's low emotion, fast decision makers. So it's a very different side of the spectrum. And I believe you can make successes on either side. However, I would more sway to the doers rather than the planners. So really, I would say the doers are the ones that would gain the most success. That's what I believe. So it's interesting to just see how they manage that, because I've been indoctrinated into the doer side. I put myself in the doer category. Less emotion, less planning, just get on with it. There are times where I'm a bit more hesitant dealing with bigger decisions, and I'm still learning to just get on with it and take my emotion out of decisions. And that's something I think you'll learn with experience. But I just find it really interesting with the management style of obviously managing these work styles, because if you are a doer, but then you have a few planners under you and a few doers, managing and making sure they work together, it's going to be difficult. And I've found it interesting the past few days, just really analysing the way he does it and just really learning from that. I really do appreciate learning from that, because I just found it very fascinating. It's almost like adapting yourself to what's the word? Almost feel what they feel, almost like appreciate where each person's coming from, and then giving your outlook on it of what you believe in, whether you're a doer or a planner or whatever. But the fact that you appreciate where they're coming from, you appreciate their work standard, they then feel more confident to work more to your style. I think that's how it's working at the moment. And I think it's really interesting that, because you have to be careful with this, because if you're not very aware and you're a doer and you've got a load of planners under you, you're just not going to work well, because you're just going to be just do it, and they're gonna be getting frustrated and annoyed because they're going to be structuring, they like strategy, they like organization, they like time to plan out, think about it for a few days. It's a clash. It's a real clash. So learning to manage that is really, really key in driving not just driving a business, but dealing with stopping conflict, and obviously driving a business. So I think that's a really key thing I've learned from today, is just being aware of the different work styles and how to manage them. So my takeaway for you is be aware. If you might not necessarily be managing a team yet, but if you're not, maybe you are in a team or plan to manage a team. Either way, wherever you are, whatever position you are, just either look around you if you are in a team or managing a team, or if you're going to, be aware of what their work style is. Understand that even as simple as ask them when they come on board with your team, like ask them, that is annoyingly not sharp. Just ask them how they like to communicate, you don't have to go, oh, what's your work style? Just go, how do you communicate? How do you like to communicate? How do you like to go about things? Just learn the way they are. Their personality is going to be very tied into the way they work as well. So, and that's going to be key, obviously, on your interviewing basis, because yes, they might be outstanding at what they do, but if they're on a very opposing side of the scale to the way you work, it's just going to be clash, and it might be more stressful than it's worth. So just be aware of that. It's something that I've become much more aware of, and it's, I think, a really fascinating one, because it's not something I would have been aware of before until I've actually seen it in the workplace. So it's something I've definitely learned recently and found really interesting to learn. So be aware of it and stop implementing it. And be open-minded is basically my takeaways. Be open-minded to other people's work ethic, other people's work styles, and don't be closed-minded and feel like because your work style got you your success. Still appreciate other people's work styles, because they might have achieved their own success in their industries as well. And you have to appreciate they got it there on their back, on the way they did their work. So don't cause conflict there. Appreciate other work styles as well, and it'll make yours even better, because you'll get the good points from them, lose your bad points, and obviously mix and make better work styles. Anyway, I'm going to stop rambling because I'm very tired. You can probably tell by this video me rambling a lot. I apologise. But I hope you enjoyed that one. It was a bit of a ramble video, that, and obviously it's going out very late because I've had a late Friday working as usual. But anyway, and a very exciting thing, I will be doing a talk at Manchester Entrepreneurs. I think it's at the Science Building on the 11th on Monday, which is pretty awesome. I only have a 48-hour turnaround on the presentation, which is interesting. But either way, I'm very excited and I can't wait to do it. I really am excited for that one. So please do, if you're interested in, it's about personal branding. So if you're interested in that, learning about personal branding, then do come along. Anyway, I'm going to shoot off. As always, the best way to predict the future is go out there and create your future. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel where you are now, at Scott Mears. My Twitter, at @ScottMears_, my Facebook, at @ScottMearsEntrepreneur. As always, guys, it's an absolute pleasure. This was Day to Day Scott. Go out there and create your future, guys. See you soon, guys. Bye-bye.